Welcome to the complete Microsoft Access learning journey. This is a 30-day Microsoft Access mastery course for everybody, irrespective of the level in which you find yourself. Whether you don't know anything about Microsoft Access, you've not used Microsoft Access before, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or a pro user, then this course is for you. Yes, so over the next 30 days, I'm going to transform you from a complete beginner into a confident database developer. We are going to build a library management system throughout the entire course, and we are going to learn each concept step by step with no shortcut. So in the process, and you see me maybe overspeeding or shortcutting, just draw my attention in the comment section so that I be on track. Throughout this 30-day journey, we will be covering several topics, and I'm going to break them down week by week. Yes, so for the first week, we'll be looking at database foundations and core structure. This part is very, very important, where I'll be taking you through the basics of database, the foundations, because we all know that when the foundation of everything becomes weak, the structure also becomes weak, and definitely it will collapse. So we have to build a very strong foundation so that any database we build becomes stronger and secured. Yes, from the first week, then we move to the second week, where we will be looking at the power of queries, that's finding and manipulating data. When it comes to database, queries are a very powerful tool, because that one, it allows you to do a lot of wonderful things with your database, where you can ask any questions that you want, where you can extract any data you want. Query is a very, very powerful tool, and trust me, when we get there, you'll enjoy that part very, very well. So from there, we move to the next week, that's week 3. So week 3, we will look at user interface and automations. This part too is the interesting part, because when we get here, it makes your database very, very interesting and automative. Some tasks that you have to do manually, with just a single click, everything will be done. So here's where we'll be building forms, and where we'll be giving it a beautiful view and a nice appearance. So from there, then we move to the last week, that's the week 4. So week 4, we'll be looking at reporting, advanced topics, and deployment. Reporting here in database is very, very important. Yes, because reporting helps in auditing, it helps in summarizing, it helps in information sharing. So report 2, it plays a vital role in database development. You look at advanced topics, then you will look at how you can deploy, or you can give out or share your database after you are done. Yes, it will take you through the process and the procedures you are to follow to secure your database, so that when you give it out, it doesn't get into the hands of the wrong people. Yes, so this is the roadmap to our 30-day Microsoft Access Mastery course, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. But please, what you have to do for you to be with us or move with us is to always engage yourself, practice whatever we do, because the more you practice, the more you become familiar and use the database system. Yes, this is a 30-day journey, and we are going to handle it day by day. So for today, being the first day, what we are going to look at is a database. When we talk of a database, what do you mean, or what do you understand by the term database? We look at what a database is, and after then, we also look at why you should choose Microsoft Access over Excel when it comes to building a database. So that is it. Yes, but please just take note that this tutorial or this video is not to undermine Microsoft Excel. No, that's not the main idea. But the issue is that when it comes to database development, then that one, Microsoft Access is the best. Though when we come to Excel, Excel too has its powerful tool when it comes to its side. but as long as database is concerned, Microsoft Access is the best. When we talk of database is like a place where information is stored in an organized way, so you can find it easily later. Sometimes it is very frustrating that you put your item somewhere and the moment you go back to take it or pick it, you see that your item has mixed with other things and you'll be turning things upside down before you find it. Sometimes before you even find it, the way you switch, that one is not easy. So when you are able to organize your items, it is easy to get them when you want. Yes, I'm going to give you a real life application or a real life example. Think of it like your wardrobe. You have your wardrobe in your room where every drawer has a label. So the first drawer, you say this one is for shirts. You label it for shirts where you are going to keep only shirts in. Then the next one for trousers, the next one for shoes, and the next one for underwear. So all these drawers, you've labeled them. You keep your shirts in the shirt drawer, you keep trousers in trouser drawer, you keep your shoes, underwear in each drawer. So the moment you want your shoe, you know exactly where you are going. You not go and search through all the drawers because you know exactly where your shoes are, and that one makes it easier and simpler and fast. Yes, you not go and be turning things upside down. This is the behavior and the nature of a database. So in order for you to build a nice and powerful database, you should put all these things into consideration. Yes, let's look at what Excel is used for. So think of Excel as a calculator and a notebook that is used for calculations. You can use Excel for calculations. Then you can use Excel for data analysis. You can use the Excel to analyze data, and you can use Excel for short-term data work. Excel is not built for a larger data system. No, it is used for a short-term data work. Then you go your way. Yes. Now that we know what Excel is used for, let's go to Access. What is Access used for? So this one, you have to think of Access like a storage system. Access is a system for storage that has been built for managing big or long-term data. So you can see what Access does. That one, it is built purposely for managing big or long-term data. So now let's look at the similarities. When we come to the similarities of Access and Excel, they both store data. They both use tables with rows and columns, forms and VBA. They all use them. Then the next one, they both allow calculations. Then they both can create reports. Reports are very, very vital when it comes to database design because it helps for auditing purposes and for references and confirmation and other things. Report does a lot. Yes, when it comes to data filtering and sorting, both allow or support filtering and sorting of data. Maybe someone may say, upon all these similarities, why am I still saying you should choose Microsoft Access over Excel? Because they all can do almost the same thing and everything at the same time. Yes, that's the next thing we are going to look at. Now let's look at why Access. The first point is that Access can handle larger data much better. When it comes to large amount of data, that's what Access was built for. So it can handle large amount of data better. But Excel, it gets slow when large data are added. That as the data in Excel is becoming larger, then the application also becomes slower and slower. The next step is when it comes to data prevention and validation, don't go there. Because Microsoft Access has a very strong and upper hand in data prevention and validation. Yes, but Excel does not protect data well. Maybe some of you may disagree. So this one, I'm going to give an illustration. I'm going to illustrate for all of us to know that yes, what I'm saying is true. So I'm going to open Microsoft Excel. All right, this is Microsoft Excel. Let me use this. Let me change the color and the border. Let me open it a bit. All right, so the size, let me increase it, let's say 18. Okay, 18 is good. Now I'll select this cell, then I come to data, then I come to data validation. I'll come to data validation, then here I'll select whole number because I want the value or the data I want it to be entered there should be only a whole number. Then the number should be between say 1 and 5. So when I click on OK, so now when I enter 1, it should be able to accept. Let me center it. When I enter 4, it should be able to accept it. When I enter 5, it should be able to accept. Now let me enter 0. It will not allow. Let me enter, let's say 6. It will not allow. It says this value doesn't match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. Let me cancel it. Now let me enter, let's say A. It doesn't enter. Now here is the trick, or here is the problem. I'm going to enter, do with me here. Now do with me. You see, this one allows only values from 1 to 5. Even 6, it will not accept. Not to talk of letters. So now this do with me. I'll just select Ctrl C to copy. Now I come to the cell, Ctrl V to paste. So now you see that it has entered. And there's one of the reasons I say when it comes to data prevention and validation, Microsoft Excel cannot protect the data well. And there's a clear example why you should choose Access over Excel. Because Microsoft Access will never allow you. It will never. The moment you just saw Access that this field or this cell, it accepts only numbers from 1 to 5. It will never allow any number, no matter what you do. So that is it. All right, let's proceed. Good. So just like we saw in Excel, Excel does not protect data well. So in this one confirms that when it comes to database development, you have to choose Access over Excel. Let's come to the next one. When it comes to relations or relational database, we talk of relational database like to relating items, entities, or tables. For example, let's say you are creating a school database. The school database, the students, what are the students related to? Every student is related to a class, isn't it? Yes. Every student has a class. And each class has a subject. Yes. So students are related to subjects. Each class has a teacher. Students are related to teachers. Yes. And when it comes to exams, assessment, and the rest, they are all related. Parents, each student is related to a parent. And in Access, you can stand at one side and relate students to all these entities I'm just mentioning. But when it comes to Excel, Excel does not do that. Excel is just like a sheet of paper and you just list everything there. And one thing is when it comes to protection, Access can help prevent duplicates. But Excel, the nature of Excel, if you don't take care, you'll be adding duplicates or repeating names or data, and it becomes too boring and it makes the work difficult. Yes, that's it for Excel. So the next one too, when it comes to multi-user systems, then Microsoft Access is the best because it was built for multi-user system. But in Excel, if you try to use Excel for multi-user purposes, then it will easily or it can easily corrupt. Yes. So the next one too is Microsoft Access can create real applications using forms, queries, reports, and VBA. Yes, when it comes to school database, inventory management system, pharmacy, hospital, employment management system, point of sale application, and a lot. Microsoft Access can do a lot of real applications. Yes, so here someone may ask, but some people too can use Excel to build databases, pharmacy, point of sale, school-based assessment, and the rest. The answer is yes. But just like I showed you, Excel does not, when it comes to data validation and prevention, Excel is not that strong enough to handle that. Yes, when it comes to security and protection, then that one, Access is the best. Let me give you a clear example. I built a game application, number shuffle game application in Microsoft Access, which I'll put the link in the video description. So in case you want to go and design it yourself so that you can be able to use it by yourself, I added the source code. Yes, the source code is there, it's free. Go and get it. Just design the form, create the table, just copy and paste the code, and you are done. Start playing your game. Yes, the fact that I was able to build that game in Access doesn't mean Microsoft Access is a game application. No, if you want a proper game application or programming language, then that one is not Access, because Access was built purposely for database application. Yes, so the fact that I've been able to build game doesn't mean Excel is the best. The same thing applies to Excel. Excel was not designed for database application. Excel was designed for calculation, analysis, and the rest. The fact that someone is able to design databases in Excel, it doesn't make Excel a database application. So that is it. Now that you've been able to gone through what a database is, you've been able to understand why you are to choose Access over Excel, I think we have to look at how the Microsoft Access application looks like now in my desktop. So in my desktop, I'll open Microsoft Access. There are several ways you can create Microsoft Access. You can just be on your desktop, right click, go to new, then they say Microsoft Access database. You click on it, Microsoft Access will be created. Yes, or else you can just press on the start button, then you search, you enter Access. When you just try entering the keyword, it will show. You can click on it to load. Alright, so when it loads, then you come to, you see I've not done anything on it, so you come to blank database. You click on blank database. Like I told you, we are going to, throughout the course, we are going to create a library management system. So give a name. You come to create blank database. In the box here it says file name, so the default name is database 1. No, we don't want that one. We have to give a name, so you name it library management. Then there's a folder here. You click on it to choose your destination folder where you want to store it. When you click on it, then you browse to where you want to store it, but the default location is documents. Yes, I want it to be in the documents. I'll go to create. When you create, there's what you see. There's what you will see. But I see that on top here there's a table here. Yes, that's the first table. By default, Access tries to create a first table for you. You don't want that one, so I'm going to close this. Yes, so when I close, see nothing is now showing. Nothing is showing. Now that the application has opened, I want to walk you through the interface. Yes, looking at the interface is grouped into 3. The first part is the top here, the whole of this side here. Yes, this side is what we call the ribbon. So the ribbon, it contains the top menu with all commands. Yes, the top menu with all commands. So this one is the file menu. When we click on the file menu to send us to where we were, then click on the home to show it has its command create, external data, database, hop, and the rest. Yes, there's no need for you to know all this. You don't need to, because as time goes on, you will be getting familiar with all of them. So for now, there's no need for you to be memorizing. No, it's not necessary. You don't have to memorize everything. Then the next part, like I said, is divided into 3 parts. The next part is this side. This side, we call it navigation pane. Yes, that's the left sidebar. Now this one will show all the objects that we will have. Yes, to show all the objects. There are 5 objects that we will have, and I'll take you through what they are, and they will all be showing in the navigation pane. And the last part is what you call the main work area. That is this side, the white space, that bigger white space here. This is where we call the main work space, work area. Yes. So now that we are done with the interface, I want to take you through the objects. There are 5 objects in database design, and these 5 objects, there's no way you can build a strong database without them. Your database should be based on these 5 objects. The first one is what? Tables. For the tables, they store your actual data, like Excel sheets. When you open Microsoft Excel, the sheet, you can see that it has rows and columns. The same thing looks like the table. The tables in Access, they are just like the Excel sheet. So that's the first object. Then the next one is queries. The queries ask questions about your data. How many females do you have? How many males do you have? How many customers were employed before 2016? How many customers were employed after 2016? How many customers received salary less than 1,000? How many customers received salary more than 1,000? So this one, the query, is a very powerful tool, and it helps your database to be active, dynamic, and powerful. Yeah, it asks any question of your choice. Then the next one is the forms. The forms, they are user-friendly data entry stream. Yes, when you are entering data with the tables, it becomes tight, just like Excel. But for the form, it makes it user-friendly. When we get there, we'll get it well. Then the next one is the report. The report, they are printable summaries of your data. The report also helps for auditing purposes, for summaries, and for references sake. Yes, the report too does a lot of wonderful things. Then the last one is the macros. The macros to automate repetitive tasks. A task that you may repeat over and over. The macros does that one for you once and for all. And there's it. Alright, so this brings us to the end of today's episode. But before we go, I have a task for you. Your challenge is, first, you have to go and create a new blank database called Practice Database. Yes, your database, name it Practice Database. Then identify the ribbon, navigation pane, and main work area. Go and do it. Tomorrow when we meet, then you bring your experience and your observation. Were you able to do it or not? From tomorrow when you come, you share your experience in the comment section. So this brings us to the end of today's episode in a 30-day Microsoft Access Mastery course for beginner, from beginner to advanced level. Please, if you find this tutorial, this video helpful, kindly subscribe, like, share, click on the notification bell for future upload. Watch more videos. There are a lot of database design videos in the channel, so click on the channel name. It will send you to my video library. Just get any video of your choice. You can watch a full playlist and you start building your own database. Thank you for your time. Thank you for today. We shall meet tomorrow. Bye bye.